Hi everyone, welcome to Preparation Skills for University. Welcome to STEPS. This is a pretty exciting stage of the term, and congratulations on making a tremendous decision and deciding to take on the STEPS journey. My name's Jenny McDougall. I'm the course coordinator for Preparation Skills for University, or Prep Skills. Sometimes we call it PSU, but that's the core subject that everybody gets to do. It's the foundation for all your other subjects here in STEPS, but it will also give you some really useful skills and very practical strategies that you're going to be able to use throughout your student journey. And you could argue that some of the things that we cover are very useful to you in your personal life as well. So welcome on board. This is just a short video to help you get started. It is a bit overwhelming at first. There is a lot of information and there seem to be a lot of bits to it, lots of different documents, and then you hear about Moodle and the online environment, and it can be a bit confusing. But rest assured, there is lots of help at hand, and actually what we do in Prep Skills for the first couple of weeks is try and ease you into that CQU/STEPS environment, and part of that means becoming familiar with all the online systems and procedures that we have, and just the general protocols that we follow here in STEPS. So where do you start? I would always say to students that the study guide is a really good place to start. Now, you will have to purchase this through the CQU bookshop, but it's at a minimal cost, a very worthwhile investment. Some people might think that they can just look at the study guide online because it is at the Moodle site, but you'll find you'll get yourself tangled in knots trying to do that pretty much, because you need to be looking at the study guide as well as looking to sites online, and it's going to be quite difficult. So I really urge you to buy a copy of the study guide, and then if you just start working through Module 1, then you will find that a lot of your questions are actually answered about what it is that you're supposed to be doing here as a STEPS student. So while you're ordering that from the bookshop, I would also encourage you to order the textbook, which you must purchase. Can't really progress in this subject without it. It's the 4th edition of the Stella Cottrell textbook. If you happen to have an early edition, it is still possible to use that, and I'll explain more about that when we go to the Moodle site. So you must order the study guide and the Cottrell textbook, very important. Now, you will have received via email 2 other really important guides which are going to help you throughout your STEPS journey, but we do refer to them specifically in this subject. So one is a STEPS guide for student. That's a bit like a handbook for STEPS students, and it's got some really useful general information about how to go about things. And keep that one close. Also keep this one close. It's the Getting Started with CQ University Systems guide. Now this is really going to step you through how to negotiate the online side of things. So your student emails, getting onto Moodle, getting onto CQU Central. It's all explained there. It's very, very well set out. And again, that's going to answer a lot of your questions. So we do refer to this specifically in Module 1 of Prep Skills, and it's just really good sense for you to start methodically going through that document because it is going to help you a lot. Now, another important document which you won't have received but you can easily access is the course profile. Now, when we talk about a course at CQU, we're talking about a subject. So for each of your subjects or courses, there is a course profile, and you really should print that out. I'll show you where to find that at Moodle in a second. And there's other ways of accessing it as well. But basically, this sets out contact information for the course coordinator for that particular course. It sets out a weekly schedule so that you know what you should be up to after each week. And also, very importantly, assessment details and when they are due. So please become familiar with the course profile. Now, the only other thing that you will need for this subject is a workbook, and you'll see as you start going through Module 1 that there are references to workbook activities, and you're asked to respond in a workbook. Now, it's up to you as to what format that might take. Some students like to have a folder, a hard copy folder, and they can put their work in that folder. If you are an on-campus student, then you probably do need to have something like that. You might prefer to do it online only, in which case you need to just be very methodical about creating files and folders so that you know where you have saved things and you can come back and access those same folders and files again. Now, this is not the sort of subject where you have to hand in something at the end of each week. I know that in some of your subjects you're expected to send work at the end of each module or the end of each week to your lecturer. This is not like that. So you need to go to your course profile to see what is due and when, but there are certain activities that you complete as you go along, and we certainly do urge you to produce those week by week, and if you do that, you will find that your assessment is actually really, really easy. Alright, I don't want to bamboozle you too much, but let's just have a quick look at the Moodle site, and of course that's where a lot of the learning and teaching takes place. Sorry, that's going to be too big for your screen. That should be a little better. Now, there is a Moodle site for each of your subjects. This is what the one for Preparation Skills for University looks like. And look, one of the things that you can really do early on is just click and explore. You can't break anything by clicking on the links. And the more familiar you are with how this works, the easier it's going to be for you. So at that information block there on the left, you'll see that you can access your course profile there. And then there are some course contacts so that you can find the phone number for your particular lecturer, for example. And then the useful resources link is significant. Now, you'll see there that those guides that I talked about before are available here as well. The Getting Started with CQ University Systems guide, the Steps guide for students. So you'll find that there's more than one way to access a lot of these resources. Now, I did want to point this one out to you though. That's the page number conversion table for Cottrell. So if you do have an earlier edition of the textbook, you'll find that that's really useful. Now, there is a similarity about the Moodle course sites, but then they will all be a little bit different as well. You should see that there is a communication block at each of those sites. I'll talk more about that later, but that's where you can go on and onto the discussion forums, introduce yourself, talk to other students. Now, the assessment block is there as well, and you might like to start clicking on to the various links there, but I'd still be guided by the course profile. But if you want further information about the assessment, then this is where you go. And then you'll see that basically there is one module per week, and so at module 1 you'll see some background information. That's where you can access the study guide module online, and then there are videos like this one, how to get started in prep skills. There'll be another one which takes you through module 1 itself, and then later on there'll be recordings of the lectures available to you as they run week by week. And then you'll see that there are resources there that might be helpful to you in that particular module, and there is the link to the discussion forum for this particular week, and so it goes. But I won't talk too much about that because, as I said, there will be a video that's dedicated to taking you through module 1. So hopefully you're getting the sense that there's a lot of support here for you, and generally, you know, the more people put into this, the more they get out of it. Certainly there is a lot of help at the Moodle site via these videos, and I do urge you to check those out. There will be a little video about each of your assessment pieces made available to you, and most students do find those really useful. So lots of help at hand. And look, it is a bit overwhelming at first, but don't worry, everybody feels the same. If you do work through module 1 of Prep Skills, it is going to help a lot with answering those questions that you have. So look, all the very best for the term ahead. Really hope you enjoy this subject, and look out for more of these videos. But that's bye from me for now.